not sure they should be calling this a primer. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Beauty Pie video. We're going to be testing the Beauty Pie Mineral Sunscreen Underneath Makeup today. Now, I've had this for about a month, so I've been using it pretty much every day for the last 4 weeks, but I haven't put it under a full face of makeup before, mostly because I haven't really been wearing a lot of makeup. I've had a little, tiny bit of concealer on, but not foundation. So, first of all, I really do like this sunscreen. You can see as I rub it in, the white appearance of it does start to disappear. And I also like that this doesn't sting my eyes because I have very sensitive eyes. Now, the reason I've been waiting for Beauty Pie to launch a mineral sunscreen is I'm actually allergic to a lot of chemical UV filters. I'm not someone who thinks you should just use mineral sunscreen, that chemical sunscreen is bad or anything like that. It's just for me personally, I have a genuine allergy to mineral sunscreen, to chemical sunscreen filters. So I'm really glad that Beauty Pie brought this out, and I actually have really been enjoying it. Like, it feels sort of a little bit hydrating on the skin, but definitely not like greasy or oily or anything. Like, it absorbs nicely, doesn't sting the eyes. It's, I think, a really nice product. But it also claims to be a primer, and I haven't used it under makeup yet. So we need to get into this and see if it actually sits well under makeup. So I have a new bottle here of Revlon Colorstay. This is the combination oily. I decluttered my old bottles because they were old. So I've got a new one, and this is 110 Ivory. So it's a new shade as well, so I'm hoping this is going to be okay. And I have a Real Techniques brush here, so I'm just gonna, I haven't used this yet, so I need to, there we go, get a bit out on the back of my hand. Hopefully this is going to be not too light. Let's get rid of my hair. Okay. Hopefully this is going to apply nicely on top. This might be a bit pale. It's okay, I have bronzer. We're going to fix it with bronzer later. Like, there's not exactly a lot of summer in Northern Europe. Like, it's not like we get a lot of sun for very long. So there's not much point in me owning, like, summer shades of foundation, because they won't get used that often. So I'm just going to use, this will be a good winter shade for me. I'm just going to use this, and then I've got a Nars cream bronzer which we can apply afterwards. I look a little bit ghostly. Okay, so this is blended on top just fine. Like, there's no pilling, the sunscreen isn't bunching up, it doesn't seem to be mixing weirdly with the foundation, so far so good. Now that I've blended out the brush strokes with my sponge, let's add a little bit of concealer. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is also probably going to be too light, but like I say, bronzer will fix things. I have the shade Fair Beige, and I like this shade because it's not too yellow, like it has a slightly more sort of neutral undertone. Yeah, this is actually blending out really nicely on top of the sunscreen, so that's good news. And I will do a check-in later to see how it's worn. Like, I'm expecting this to wear pretty well. Like, this is quite a long-lasting foundation, so we'll see if the sunscreen causes it to, break up, get oily earlier than it otherwise would have. Okay, let's carry on with our cheek products. I'm going to use a little bit of the Clinique Chubby stick, and I'm going to take this on my foundation brush here and just add a little to the cheeks, and then we'll get into that bronzer and fix this slightly ghostly situation. This is the Nars bronzing cream in Laguna 1, so this is the light shade. I'm super lazy, so I'm just going back in with the same brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of this around the perimeters of my face, down the nose, and let's just try and match up a little bit. I'm being kind of quick today. Like, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of time. I have my COVID booster vaccine in the near future, so I don't have a lot of time for being super precise today. But this is one of the reasons I like these products that I'm using today. Like, these, they dropped it, blend out really easily. They have pigment, but they're not too pigmented, so if you're more on the pale side like me, you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, my matching, I look a little better, right? Do I need more bronzer? It's really hard to tell sometimes. I'm just gonna clean up under that bronzer a little bit because I think it came just a tiny bit too low, so let's just add a little bit of concealer down here and tidy up a little bit. But yeah, so far no complaints about the way this sunscreen is sitting underneath the makeup, like by my mirror. It all is sitting on the skin nicely. Tap out a few of these brush strokes that I've managed to add to my face. But yeah, I'd say so far, so good. I feel like I'm looking nicely like hydrated, like a little bit glowy. Maybe could use a little bit more blush. Let's use a little bit more blush. Oh god, this is why I hate these. Look how messy this is. Like, I really love the highlight, but oh my god, it's so messy. Let's just add a little bit of highlight. I really wish this came in different packaging, but it's super pretty, so put up with it, okay. And these are all products that you can just use super fast, which I really like. Okay, we've got a nice bit of glow there. So I'm gonna use the Cherry Blossom Cake from Huda Beauty, and I'm gonna use this with a little triangular puff. Get some of the product out in the little cap. Okay, so I'm gonna take the puff and just press this into the powder. So I picked up some powder. Then I'm gonna massage this into my palm, so it's not just loads of it sitting right on the surface. Here we go. Make sure there aren't any creases under there, and then just gonna press this in. One under eye done. Okay, so now I've added the powder. I would say there's a little bit of texture on my upper eyelids that's not normally there. It's looking okay elsewhere where I'm setting with powder. Like, it looks okay on my chin here. I definitely feel like it looked better before powder. All of the liquid cream products went on top of the sunscreen fine, and now it's just, I don't know, like there's maybe a little bit of texture up here where I'm setting it. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop chatting on about this tiny minimal bit of texture that I'm getting and finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, just very simple makeup today, and I think I need to throw out this mascara. Like, it's not that old, but I think the warm weather has ruined it. Like, it's gone really thick and kind of clumpy, and I don't know what's going on, but oh well. So I am starting to notice a few other just texture issues. Like, I don't know if you can see, like, here. Is that gonna focus? I've got, like, a little bit of, I don't know, like pilling, and I didn't notice anything before I put the powder on, but now I've set with powder, it's going a little bit strange. Like, if I touch it, like little bits kind of come off. I, to be honest, have sunscreens that I prefer under makeup over this. I will link the one I use in the description box below because I don't have it to hand right now to show it to you, but it's the Heimish Glow Base, and it's one of the, or literally like the only chemical sunscreen that I have tried and not had an allergic reaction to. So that's what I typically use under makeup, and it goes very, very nicely under makeup. So I will probably keep using that over this under my makeup. If you're someone who's just using like concealer, some cream blush, you don't use a lot of powder, I think you'll be fine. Other than that, like, I'm not convinced that this is a primer, you know, because primer shouldn't cause textural issues. Okay, I will check back in with you in a few hours and give you an update on how it's looking. See you then. Okay, so it's been a few hours and I'm back, and I'm actually starting to get just a little bit oily, like on my chin and on my forehead, like even where I powdered, I'm getting like a little bit shiny. Not super bad, but more than I would usually, so I'm gonna put that down to the sunscreen. I did also get, like, I wiped it off, but I got some mascara like transfer on my upper eyelid, even though I set my upper eyelids with powder, and this is a waterproof mascara. So I think that's maybe because I started to get just like a tiny bit oily, and then the oil just like broke down the mascara. So back to the textural issues, like, I do still think this is a problem. Like, if I touch my face, like, it just, I don't know, it sort of pills a little bit weirdly, like, not super bad. I don't want to like make it seem super bad. It's not super bad, but do I think this is a primer? Like, it claims to be a primer, right? I don't think they should claim that this is a primer. Like I said, I'm getting a little oily. The powder didn't sit great on top of it. Like, the creams were all fine. All the liquids were all fine. But then, you know, if it's a primer, all makeup, including powder, should sit well on top of it. So, do I think that this is a good sunscreen, and will I continue to use it on days where I'm not wearing makeup? Absolutely. I actually really like it. I think it's a really nice product. Would I call it a primer or use it under makeup? No, I would not. So yeah, if you're thinking of buying this, just don't think that it's gonna be like, yeah, a primer that's gonna sit super well under makeup. It's gonna be okay under makeup if you're doing light makeup, you're using creams, you're not using a lot of powder. I think it's gonna be okay for you, but don't buy this thinking this is gonna be a great thing to put under makeup every single day. There are better sunscreens for under makeup out there. But as just a sunscreen, I really like it. I do wish it was SPF 50 rather than SPF 30. Maybe they made it SPF 30 because otherwise it would have more of a white cast. That's an issue obviously with mineral sunscreen. So maybe they just made it SPF 30 so it's less white. So in terms of sitting out like in the sun, like full on sitting out in like summer sun, again, I would not be using this. I would be using an SPF 50. So, but this is, I mean, it's still good for like every day when it's not, you know, super sunny, you're not going to be in the sun for a super long time. I definitely will use it all up, and I probably will repurchase it because I do really like it. It's just not something that I'm going to be putting under makeup. I will stick to my Heimish Artless Glow Base for under my makeup. So that basically wraps up this video. I hope that was useful for you guys. Subscribe if you like Beauty Pie videos. If you're a Beauty Pie member, I make lots of Beauty Pie videos. I have many Beauty Pie reviews. So hit that subscribe button and I'll see you next time.